So a couple years ago, I was standing in my living room looking at my Pokemon card collection. I sat down and checked hundreds of bulk cards to find all valuable cards I collected. And I found a couple of awesome cards, but unfortunately they contained dozens of scratches. And I thought to myself, damn, these cards are awesome, but how did they get so damaged? I thought for a second and I quickly realized the solution. I needed a proper binder. So I immediately took my iPad to order a binder, and the next day it arrived. I ran to my collection, grabbed all the valuable cards I could find and put all of them in the binder. But exactly at that point I made a huge mistake. Even though my Charmander binder was looking awesome, I was storing my cards in the wrong way. I was putting all of these cards in my fancy Charmander binder with no protection at all, which is not good. When using a binder, always put your cards in a thin plastic protector called a penny sleeve. They are called penny sleeves because they actually cost only 1 penny. And I guess because Penny also really likes to use these sleeves. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, if you don't use these, your cards will look like this, which is not good. And when you're buying a binder, don't hesitate to spend a little extra money for higher quality, because lower quality binders can damage your cards, or your cards don't even fit in the binder with a sleeve on it. My Charmander binder was also not the highest quality, so I recently bought a way better one. So always make sure to use sleeves and get yourself a high quality binder. And if you're really a pro, you might already be using top loaders to store your cards. Top loaders are hard plastic cases that completely protect your Pokemon cards. But there are actually still a lot of people that are putting their cards in the top loader without a sleeve, which is not good. Always put your card in a penny sleeve before putting it in a top loader, because if you don't, you can get scratches on the card. By the way, if you ever struggle to get your cards out of a top loader, here's a pro tip to do it. Hold the top loader in your hand and smash your palms against each other. This will create enough force for the card to get out of the top loader. Now, after I put my cards in a safe place, I realized a different problem. I felt like my head was exploding by all the different Pokemon cards in my collection, and I could sense that something was wrong. For my entire collecting journey, I was just getting a couple cards from each set, buying some cards that I liked, but never really completing something. And it felt like I was just in this endless loop of buying more and more random cards that made my Charmander binder look like chaos. So I decided to start to collect a specific type of cards that were always my favorite when I was a kid, and they're called Mega cards. I always completely loved Mega Pokemon. They just look super cool, and all of these cards have this unique Japanese text on the card. And when I decided to set a goal for myself with Pokemon collecting, the chaos in my Charmander binder also started to disappear. The most important part is always that you collect what you like. But when you start to collect a specific type of cards, it feels like you're on a mission. A special task just for you to complete a full set of cards that you like. The reason why so many people try to finish master sets, collect every Gengar card or every Mega card that exists, is because it makes the hobby so much more fun. So go to your collection and pick a set, a type of card, or a specific card that you want to collect, and go all in to finish this collection. Okay, so we stored our cards in a nice and clean binder, and we have an amazing goal with Pokemon card collecting, but there's actually one thing missing. Because where do you keep all of these cards? Well, that's a good question. You can basically put them wherever you want. But there are 3 really important things you should keep in mind when storing your cards. First, keep your cards away from humid rooms, because your cards can bend from this, which is also not good. Second, never let the sun shine on your cards, because it can make the colors look really weird. And lastly, don't put too much pressure on your binders. Instead of stacking them on top of each other, put them in a closet like books. And eventually you'll have a library of full Pokemon binders. That would be cool, right? In the meantime, YouTube is saying that you want to watch this video next, so I'll see you there.